Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Let's see what it is. All right, so this is we're live in Pima County Court. Not Pima County, Arizona, Maricopa. We're in Maricopa County. So court is about to be in session. Hey, what's up, Christy? How's it going? How's everybody doing today? They should be starting in the next, let me see, what is it, 6:59. So in about in a minute or two, we should be seeing the next defendant coming in. And this is the initial hearing. Hey, how's it going, Caitlin? Let's see, pop out the chat over here. Copy the overlay. How is everybody doing today? Hopefully, you guys are off just like me and are able to enjoy your day today. Let me see. How did you guys do with the TikTok ban for like 12 hours? I know you guys were fiending. What am I going to do? What shall I do? I don't know. Let me see here. Let me turn on my camera on YouTube. Okay, there I am. Let me see. Bam. I cried. Hey, what's up, Dylan Funk? How's it going? Good morning. How you doing today? It was a rough 12 hours for me. I was hey, what's up, Nalgas Tumbadas?
All right.
All right. You heard that? You heard the honorable judge.
All right, good morning. I'm Commissioner Procco. This is the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar for January 20, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar as well. All right, when you hear your name, please step up to the podium that's in the center of the courtroom in here. We'll be giving you some paperwork at the end of your hearing that's going to cover everything we go over in here, so that it's going to include your next court dates as well as all of your release conditions. For those of you who will be out of custody prior to your next court date, I do recommend contacting the court in advance of that date so you can verify your hearing details. Please keep in mind you do have the right to remain silent. Everything you say in the courtroom is being recorded, both audio and video, and could be used in a future court proceeding. We're going to begin today with Carlton Levong, and then after that we have Miguel Gonzalez.
All right. Next up. What do you guys think this guy is coming out for? Any good guesses here?
Mr. Levong, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Carlton Levong, June 18, 1992.
All right, thank you, sir. So it looks like you have two separate cases here on the calendar today. I'll go ahead and start with the matter that was already existing. This is your 2023 case, and I know you were out on bond in that matter, but they did bring you in on a bond surrender in that case. So what I'm doing here today is I'm going to go ahead and reinstate your prior bond. So basically, you're just going back to square one prior to when it was posted, okay? So you still have the $5,000 secured appearance bond in this matter. Now, your second case that you have here, this one is the grand jury warrant that just came out. So this is for an indictment that has been filed that does allege one count of aggravated DUI, two counts of aggravated DUI, both class 4 felonies, and one count of possession of narcotic drugs, also a class 4 felony. This one has an offense date of August 11 of 2024. This is a non-bailable warrant. In other words, you are not eligible for release for this matter, and I'm assuming that's why they also brought you in on the bond surrender, because this warrant came out. So because you are non-bailable, we're going to be setting an extra hearing for you today. That's an evidentiary hearing. So your court dates at this time for this matter is going to be an arraignment hearing January 28 at 8:30 and an evidentiary hearing January 27 at 1:30. So that evidentiary hearing gets set in order to allow the court to review the non-bailable status, okay? Because if they were to continue to hold you without bond at that point, they would have to make some additional legal findings. An attorney was appointed in that matter as well. I don't think I gave you your court date for the other one, too, because the 2023 matter, I don't think you had a court date until maybe February or something.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and set a status conference post-warrant January 27th, just so you have something closer in time to address this one, okay?
Okay, so, and I start my trial on Tuesday.
Oh, you had a court date tomorrow, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, so hopefully they'll still be able to transport you in there. They should be able to, because yeah, it's 8 a.m.
Okay.
So they should be able to still transport you in there since one of your, the 2023 matter has the trial date tomorrow.
Yes.
Talk to your attorney.
Yes.
Because you have a new case, it's entirely possible that that trial date could change since you have another open matter. But that is a conversation to have with your attorney as far as how that's going to proceed.
Oh, okay. And so
Okay.
you said it's not available on the new charge?
Right. So at least at this time for that 2023 case, keep that bond in place. As long as you're being held without bond in the new matter, in that aggravated DUI case, keep the 2023 case, keep the bond in place, okay? That way they know you're in custody of that matter, so you can get transported tomorrow in order to attend that court date, so you can figure out what's going to happen going forward in that matter, okay?
Okay.
All right. Any other questions regarding either matter?
No.
Okay. All right, if you want to step over and go and pick up that paperwork so you can have a seat. Thank you, sir.
This
All right, so Miguel
is
Gonzalez,
live.
Jeremy
This is
Smith
live.
up after that.
This is Maricopa County in Arizona. Once again, this is live, Maricopa County. And what do you guys think that this next individual's coming up for? Oh, got that
All
stroke.
right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Miguel Gonzalez, May 15, 1984. Good morning, Your Honor.
Sir. All right, so you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charge that was submitted here today is 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree, and that's a Class 4 felony. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you there, and you do have a status conference currently set on January 24 at 8:30, evidentiary hearing January 27 at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing January 29 at 8:30. Those are all at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I do show you are currently on felony release in another matter that's not on the calendar today, but that's CR 2024-141773. Since you were on felony release at the time this new offense allegedly occurred and probable cause was found here today, you are required at this time to be held without bond for this new case. And that is why we set that evidentiary hearing. That's the hearing that you have on January 27. That's the court date I'm required to set in order to allow the court to review those specific release conditions, the non-bailable status. Do you have any questions regarding this?
I got a lot of questions.
What's your question regarding the information I've provided you with today?
Why wouldn't I be released with...
Because under Arizona law, if you commit a new felony offense
I
while
wasn't-
being on felony release in another matter, you are required to be held without bond, and that is your
I
situation.
wasn't even done asking my question.
That's the answer to it.
There's a police brutality. There's a lot of...
You've been appointed an attorney to represent you in this matter, so you can certainly speak with your attorney about
Yeah.
any concerns you have regarding your arrest in this matter.
There's also questions behind my attorney as well. So I need to be...
That's not something this court can address. I'm just here to give you your release conditions and court dates for the new charge that just came in.
Yeah, there's a lot of fishy going on with the courtrooms,
Okay, go ahead
with
and
prosecutors,
step
with
over to
judges
the left.
and everything.
Go ahead and
So
pick up your paperwork and
I'm
tell
not done
me
asking
that's
questions?
No, you're completed.
Why? I'm not done
Your
though.
time's done. You're out. Go ahead and step over
There's a
to
lot
the
of
left.
questionable matters behind all my
Go
tickets,
ahead and step
courts,
over to the
everything.
left.
21 broken bones
Step over to your left.
in 7 months because of cops.
All right, so we do have Jeremy Smith coming up next.
So he doesn't have a
After that,
jumpsuit
Lorenzo
because he was just picked
Carbajal.
up. You know, he hasn't been. He's now that he's been processed. Now that he's going to be held in lockup, he's going to get switched out to that jumpsuit. If that
All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Jeremy Scott Smith, 5879.
All right, sir. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges for you here today are 1 count of aggravated assault involving a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument. That's actually a Class 3 felony. 1 count of kidnapping, Class 2 felony. 2 counts of aggravated assault, impede breathing, Class 4 felonies, and 1 count of preventing the use of a telephone during an emergency situation, which is a Class 2 misdemeanor. In this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have 2 court dates currently set, which is a status conference January 27 and a preliminary hearing January 29, both at 8:30, and that'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, based on primarily the nature of the offense, the violent nature of the offense that we have here, as well as a review of your history, you do have a bond in this case. That's a $75,000 secured appearance bond. If you were to postpone and be released from custody, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services, and you'd also be subject to electronic monitoring that would be installed prior to your release. That is being put in place because you do have terms here that you are not to return to the scene of the offense, you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. You are also not to possess any weapons, and if there is an order of protection issued, you must obey that order. I do show you were previously residing with the alleged victim in this matter, or otherwise residing at the location where this occurred. Because you do have an order not to return, you do have to find an alternate residence and provide proof of that to pretrial services, who is handling the supervision in your case. I just will warn you that a violation of a no victim contact order in a criminal release order could constitute aggravated harassment, and that is a Class 6 felony. So if you come in here on a new felony offense while being on felony release, you would be non-bailable at that point. Do you have any questions regarding anything I just went through here?
No.
All right, sir. If you want to go and step over, you can go and have a seat. Thank you.
Hey, Dylan, welcome. Welcome, and I
All right,
want to go
Mr.
ahead.
Carvajal, and then Xavier Aldana will be up next.
Next.
All right, say your phone and the date of birth.
Lorenzo Carvajal, September 3rd, 92.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court with the one count being aggravated assault, impede breathing, which is a Class 4 felony. In this case, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You currently have a status conference set on January 27 at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing January 29 at 8:30. And those are both going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. You'll get the address in your paperwork here in a moment. So in this case, based on the nature of the offense that you're here for, which does involve the allegation of impede breathing, which is a serious offense that we've created a specific statute for, given how close that is related to an escalation in domestic violence offenses. For that reason, you do have a bond that is a $25,000 secured appearance bond. If you post bond and are released from custody, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You'd also be subject to alcohol testing and monitoring, because your release conditions are going to include the terms that you are not to possess or consume any alcohol. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Your release conditions also include the terms that you are not to return to the scene of the offense. You are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. That does mean that you will need to find an alternate residence and provide proof of that residence to pretrial services. So if you do need to return to the residence in order to obtain any necessary personal items, you can only do that in person using a civil standby. That's done by contacting local law enforcement and scheduling it through them. So in this matter, I do also need to caution you that a violation of a no victim contact order and a criminal release order, and that's what you have now, that could constitute aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. Any questions regarding anything I just went through?
No. Do I have to pay the bail, or can I get it released on my own?
You do have to pay the bail prior to your release. Okay, if you have questions about that process, about how to do that, you can ask the officers in the back. They'll be able to let you know. It actually goes through the jail. That's how you do it.
Okay.
Because it's a secured appearance bond, you are able to work with a bail bonding company. So if you want to find out more about that, there are also phones back there in the next room you're going to go to, and there's some numbers on the wall, I believe, that have different companies on there, so you can certainly inquire as to what that would.
Do I have to pay the $25,000, or is it 10%?
Like I said, it's a secured appearance bond, so you are able to work with a bail bonding company, so they do often work with that percentage with security. But as far as what they would require with the percentages and stuff, talk to them.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Where you at?
All right, Mr. Aldana.
Where you at?
Quinnell McCoy will be up after that.
I want to go ahead and welcome everybody that's tuning in. This is live, and this is Arizona. This is the initial appearance, so this isn't a trial or
All right,
anything.
Mr. Aldana, going to state your full name and date of birth.
Xavier Aldana, 10906.
All right, thank you, sir. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges here are going to be one count of aggravated assault, temporary disfigurement, a Class 4 felony, one count of aggravated assault, victim-bound restraint, Class 6 felony, 2 counts of disorderly conduct and 2 counts of assault, both Class 1 misdemeanors, and 1 count of threatening, intimidating, also a Class 1 misdemeanor. Those are the counts I was able to find probable cause on here today. There were some additional counts submitted that I did not find probable cause on, at least not at this time, and that is 2 additional counts of aggravated assault for serious physical injury and 1 additional account of aggravated assault, temporary disfigurement. Doesn't necessarily mean those charges are going away, but I did not have enough information to proceed on just those specific charges here today. So based on the financial information submitted in your matter, I don't show you qualify for court-appointed counsel, okay? So you do, of course, have the right to retain an attorney on your own behalf to represent you in this matter. If you believe that is incorrect and you should qualify for court-appointed counsel, I'm happy to hear from you here today. We can address that here, or you can always bring that up at your next court date as well, okay? So in this matter, you do have a status conference currently set January 27, preliminary hearing January 29, both at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. I did take into account, I don't show you have any other prior convictions, but you do have 2 prior arrests at least for violent offenses involving assault. And in this case, this does appear to be an unprovoked violent assault involving people that were complete strangers to you, including a female that you apparently assaulted first. So in this matter, you do have a bond, which is a $25,000 secured appearance bond, with the additional orders that you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. You are not to possess any weapons while on release. You'll get all that information here in a moment, but do you have any questions regarding this?
No.
All right, if you want to go ahead and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork. We do have Mr. McCoy, as well as Eduardo Soto Valenzuela next.
For assaulting the woman. Let me see. They have court on. They have court every single day. Oh, damn! He had a rough night.
Name and date of birth.
Cornell Joshua McCoy, 12-2088.
All right, sir. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges are 1 count of taking identity of another, which is a Class 4 felony, 1 count of theft of a credit card, Class 5 felony, 1 count of theft controlling stolen property, Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of false reporting to law enforcement, also a Class 1 misdemeanor. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set on January 27, preliminary hearing January 29, both at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. I do recognize you have a pretty lengthy history here, including a number of failures to appear and felony convictions, but your primary hold right now, at least, is going to be your DOC hold, because you do have a parole hold that came in. So that is going to hold you in custody either way. But I am setting a bond in this matter, which is a $7,500 secured appearance bond. I'm just letting you know about that parole hold, because even if you post the bond at this time, you wouldn't be released from custody. That would hold you in. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, sir, if you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork.
Next.
All right, Eduardo Soto Valenzuela.
What do you guys think the next individual is going to be in for?
That.
Any guesses? Any guesses are welcome. And once again, this is Arizona. This is live court, Maricopa County.
Your full name and date of birth.
May 16, 1995, Eduardo Soto Valenzuela.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for 2 separate cases today. The first one is a new case out of Superior Court. The charges there are going to be 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, which is a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest, passive resistance, and that is a Class 1 misdemeanor. Those are the counts that I was able to find probable cause on here today. There are some additional counts that were submitted that I did not find probable cause on, which doesn't necessarily mean they're going away, but I was not provided with enough information here today. And those counts are 1 count of possession of a weapon during a drug offense, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony, and 1 count of theft, a Class 5 felony. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do currently have a status conference set January 27 with a preliminary hearing January 29, both at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, based on a review of your history, which does include about 8 prior felony convictions, which does include a prior for possession of a weapon by a prohibited possessor, you do have a bond in this case, and that's a $5,000 secured appearance bond. If you post bond and are released from custody, you have the additional orders that you're not to have any contact with any complainant witness in this matter or co-defendant, if there is one, and you're not to possess any weapons, which was already the case for you, okay? So that's basically the same. So if you do post bond and are released, you're still on supervised probation. You do still need to abide by all the terms of your current probation, which does include contacting probation within 72 hours. They do know you're in custody because they submitted the second matter here today, which is your probation case, okay? So in that matter, you are here today for a Term 1 violation. The public defender has been appointed there as well. Revocation arraignment hearing set January 27 at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I did read your probation notes just to see how you were doing on probation. Looks like you were actually making some positive steps in probation and certainly remaining in contact. So what I've done here is I just did a placeholder bond in the amount of $50 for the probation case, okay? Any questions regarding either of these?
You did what, you said?
You have a $50 bond for the probation matter, okay? So it's basically a placeholder bond. I want to make sure that they know you're in custody in both cases, just in case you don't post that first bond, okay?
So total my bond's $5,000?
$5,050.
Okay.
Right. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, because they said I had a weapon, but I didn't have a weapon on me. I only had a clip, so.
I'll let you know that based on the probable cause statement that was submitted to the court, which is what we rely on in order to establish probable cause here today, I did find there was probable cause. All right. Any other questions?
No, so.
All right, if you want to go ahead and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork over there. You can certainly speak with your attorney about the specific allegations against you.
Yeah, so I do have a bond right now. So I have a bond for probation and a bond for.
Right, you have the $5,000 bond and then a $50 bond.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. And it's cash only, or?
It is not. It's a secured appearance bond, so you are able to work with a bail bonding company.
Okay.
All right, thank you,
Next.
sir.
He ain't going nowhere. And just to clarify, he was caught with a clip.
All right,
He admitted in court that he had a clip.
Will be up after that.
He had a clip. So he's stating he didn't have a weapon.
All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
0203-1995.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. This is alleging one count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, which is a Class 4 felony, and one count of failing to admit to carrying a weapon, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed in this matter. You do have a status conference set on January 27, preliminary hearing January 29, both at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in this case, looks like you do have the 3 prior felony convictions, which does make you a prohibited possessor in this matter. Looks like you were also arrested on an outstanding warrant out of the Tempe Municipal Court. I don't know if you've seen the Tempe judge or not. If you have not, you're going to still need to see them, okay, because that's a separate matter. So in this case, though, you do have a bond. That's a $1,500 secured appearance bond. You still have the order as well that you are not to possess any weapons while on release.
Thank you,
All
Starlight.
right. Any questions about that?
No.
All right, sir. If you want to step over, you can go and grab your paperwork here in a moment and have a seat at this time.
Hey,
Thank
please,
you.
and if you could go ahead and hit that
All right, we have
subscribe
Sean
button,
Olson,
highly
Francisco
appreciate it.
Martinez up after that.
Hit that subscribe button. It's free 99, my favorite price. Also, sharing is caring. So if you could go ahead and share this stream with somebody you like, somebody you don't like, send it to anybody and
Mr.
everybody.
Olson, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Sean Bob Olson, 10/11/1984.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. There are a number of counts that have been submitted here primarily for the DUI, so I'm going to go ahead and go through those now. You have one count of aggravated DUI, which is a Class 4 felony, and then you have 5 counts of DUI as a Class 1 misdemeanor. There are 5 separate counts because you had such a high BAC that they submitted it for a .15 or more, .20 or more, .08 or more, since you're above the .20 or more, okay? Your other charges here are going to be one count of driving on a suspended license, Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of reckless driving, Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of consuming liquor in a vehicle, a Class 2 misdemeanor, one count of possessing an open container of liquor in a vehicle, a Class 2 misdemeanor as well. So in this matter, based on the financial information submitted to the court, I don't show that you qualify for court-appointed counsel. So if you believe that is incorrect and based on your financial situation, you should qualify for court-appointed counsel, you can let me know here today. We can address that at your end of your hearing to see if I need to change that. You can always bring that up at your next court date as well.
Arizona.
You do have the right to retain an attorney on your own behalf to represent you in this matter. So in this case, your court dates at this time are a status conference January 27 with a preliminary hearing January 29, both at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Looks like you already have a fairly lengthy history of DUIs. I did count about 4 prior DUIs in your history. I'm also recognizing the fact that you did get into an accident in this case, as well as the level of intoxication based on the BAC that was presented here. Based on that, you do have a bond, which is a $1,500 secured appearance bond. Now, if you do post bond and are released, it's going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. And I'm putting that in place because you are going to be subject to alcohol testing and monitoring as part of those release conditions. That would be up to pretrial services as far as when that would occur. Because your release conditions do include the term that you are not to possess or consume any alcohol while on release. Any questions regarding any of that?
No.
All right. Sir, if you want to go and step over, you want to pick up that
Next.
paperwork and have a seat.
So this is
We have
Arizona.
Francisco Martinez and
This is live.
Viordania.
And what do you guys
Soto
think the
up
next
after that?
individual is going to be in for? If you guys don't mind sharing. Last guy was there for a DUI and he got into an accident. So, and Arizona don't play around. They're definitely going to throw the book at you. You're going to do some time. Ain't no, they're going to let you out after a day or two after, being in the drunk tank. Especially if you have those pew charges.
All right, sir. Your full name and date of birth?
Francisco Martinez, December 1990.
All right, thank you, sir. You were here for a probation violation warrant that was issued. It's for a petition to revoke that was filed back in May of 2024. It alleges a violation of terms 3 and 7 of your probation term. So the public defender has been appointed to represent you. You have a revocation arraignment hearing January 27 at 8:30 a.m. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, the bond and your warrant's been affirmed, so that's a $1,000 secured appearance bond. Now, if you post bond and are released from custody, you are still on supervised probation, so you do still have to abide by those terms. And that does include contacting probation within 72 hours. Any questions regarding?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so we have Ms. Soto and Jesus, Grijalva, Burrell will be up next.
Next.
Good morning.
Full name and date of birth.
Viridiana Soto, April 9th, 1990.
Thank you. So you've got 3 separate cases here. All 3 of these are probation violation warrants, okay? So in each of your probation cases out of Superior Court, it looks like a petition to revoke was filed alleging a violation of terms 3, 4, 5, and 15 of your probation terms. So the public defender's been appointed. We have a revocation arraignment hearing January 27 at 8:30 a.m., and that's at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. The bond in each of those warrants has been affirmed. The first 2 each had $250 bonds. The third one is a $100 bond. So it's $600 total for all 3 matters.
Okay.
So if you do post bond and are released from custody, you are still on supervised probation. You do still need to abide by all terms, including contacting them within 72 hours.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, she got the lowest bond right
All right,
there.
Mr. Grijalva, and after that, we've got Celeste Perez.
All right, what do you guys think the next individual is going to be coming up for? And also hit that subscribe button if you enjoy these type of streams. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free 99. My favorite
Mr.
price.
Grijalva, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Jesus Rigoberto Grijalva, 4:30, 1985.
All right, thank you, sir. Is it 1985? I had 1984 on here.
1985.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me just double check that.
85. All right. Everybody thinks he has one of those. He has a pew pew. Yeah, courts in Arizona for whatever reason they run court every single day. As far as Pima County and Maricopa County, for whatever reason they never shut that down. They never shut them down, and they run them multiple times a day. So they have one like at 8, at noon, at 5, 6, all kinds of crazy hours. So definitely be on lookout on these these streams that I'm gonna be doing right here. Also, don't forget we do have other social media pages. So if you type this in at CollectCallFrom, you're gonna find the other social media pages.
Change it here today, or if we should just wait and address it with your attorney.
And don't forget to follow, and highly appreciate it. I'm not asking for any money, any type of anything. I'm not gonna be giving no sob stories about my car broke down or anything like that. I just want you to follow so we could go ahead and help this this channel grow and whatnot.
Yeah, can we change it to 1985? That's the date of birth. All right, thank you, sir. All right, so you have 3 separate cases here today. So I'll go ahead and start with the matters that are out of Superior Court. This is for 2 separate probation violation warrants that were issued. In each of those probation cases, there is a petition to revoke filed alleging a violation of terms 3 and 4 of your probation terms. So the public defender has been appointed to represent you in both matters, and a revocation arraignment hearing is set January 27 at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, the bond in each warrant, or in each of those matters, the bond in each warrant's been affirmed. Each of them has a $100 secured appearance bond, so it's $200 total for the Superior Court cases, okay? Now, you do have 2 other cases here today. You have 1 other case here today out of the Buckeye Municipal Court. This is also a post-adjudication probation violation warrant that was issued out of that court. They've set an arraignment hearing for you there on January 29 at 1 p.m. That would be at the Buckeye Municipal Court. You'll get the address in your paperwork still. And in that matter, there is a $500 secured appearance bond. It's $700 total for all 3. So if you do post bond and you are released from custody, you are still on probation, so you do still need to contact your probation officer for Superior Court within 72 hours of your release from any facility. Since I did affirm the bond in the Buckeye case, since that's a misdemeanor matter, I did go ahead and appoint counsel to represent you for that issue as well. That is required pursuant to Rule 6.1. All right, any questions regarding anything I just went through?
Pretty much just $700.
$700 is the total for all 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right,
So this is live.
And then Brock Delaney up after that.
And somebody said something about $5. Not to follow, it's free. To follow anybody on TikTok, it's free.
Date of birth?
Celeste Perez, June 1st, 2003.
All right, so you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of assault, a Class 2 misdemeanor. In this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set February 4 with a preliminary hearing February 6, both at 8:30, and that'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Okay.
Based on the review of your history, or actually your lack thereof, I didn't see that you had any convictions at least. I am going to follow the PSA recommendation. You are being released here today, but it is going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. So you'll get their information before you go.
Okay.
You do have to stay checked in with them while on release, okay? So you'll get an instruction packet for that. So based on the nature of the offense, you also have the terms that you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. So if you were previously residing with the alleged victim in this case, and I don't think the Form 4 told me one way or the other, but if you were, that does mean you need to find an alternate residence. If you need to go back to the shared residence because you have essential personal items there that do need to be collected, you can only do that using a civil standby. That's not an issue for you?
No.
Okay. All right, then I won't go over the rest of it. I just wanted to make sure that was there just in case that was the case, okay? Any questions, though?
No.
All right, thank you.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think she might be
All right,
single,
we have
so
Delaney,
if anybody's
Brock,
interested in,
Delaney,
she might be
and
getting out
Luth.
soon.
Enriquez up after that. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Brock Delaney, 3/19/1985.
All right, so you are here for a bench warrant that was issued, and that's for a failure to appear in CR 2024-141166. At this point, you now have a status conference set on January 24 at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be at the downtown Phoenix Superior Court. You'll get the address in your paperwork.
Okay.
So I do show this warrant was issued after prosecution was resumed in this case. Since I don't show any other failure to appears that have been issued in your criminal history, I am going to follow the PSA recommendation here and give you an opportunity to appear at that next court date on your own.
Thank you.
But you are being released subject to the supervision of pretrial services. So you're going to get their information before you go and
Okay.
a packet of paperwork. You have to call them, okay? So
Okay.
next business day, I think, is usually what they ask you for. Their contact information will be in there, okay?
Awesome.
Any questions about that?
No.
All right, just make sure you show up on the 24th, okay?
I will.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you, sir. All right, so
Morning,
we have
Sil.
Ms. Enriquez and Anthony Gonzalez up after that.
What do you guys think the next individual's in for? Cast your votes and let us know what you think over here. Is anyone going to get out of...
And then your full name and date of birth.
Luz Irene Enriquez, 5/26/1982.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a warrant that was issued out of the Goodyear Municipal Court, and that's for their case number TR 2022-02047. Looks like it is a criminal speed case from 2022. So an arraignment hearing's been set on February 5th at 1 p.m., and that's going to be at the Goodyear Municipal Court. You'll get the address for the court in your paperwork. This is a post-adjudication failure to pay warrant. Sounds like you do have a fine there that was not taken care of, which is why they've issued the warrant. So because of that, I am going to release you on your own recognizance to appear at that next court date on your own. So you just need to make sure you show up on February 5th or another warrant could issue at that time.
Okay.
All right, any questions about that?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, did they say what kind of warrant it was? I
So
missed it.
Anthony Gonzalez, Jeremy Schultz will be up after that.
All right, man. She moves fast. She's a man. She's definitely fast. She's like the micro machine, man. If anybody remembers back from the 80s, you guys know exactly what I'm talking
All right,
about,
so
and that
your full
shows
name
my
and date
age.
of birth?
Anthony Gonzalez, August 5th, 1995.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a new case. This will be out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. The charge is 1 count of shoplifting, a Class 1 misdemeanor. So based on the nature of the offense that you're here for, you don't qualify for court-appointed counsel. Okay, since it's a misdemeanor offense that doesn't otherwise qualify. You do have the right to retain an attorney on your own behalf to represent you in this matter. They've set an arraignment hearing for you out at the Goodyear Municipal Court. That'll be on February 5th at 1 p.m. The address for the court will be included in your paperwork. And then in this matter, you are being released on your own recognizance. You do have the additional terms that you are not to return to the scene of the offense or have any contact with any complainant or witness.
Okay.
All right. Any questions about that?
So, all right. Thank
No?
you.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, sir. All right. So Jeremy Schultz.
Where you
and
at, bro?
Gustavo,
Where you
and
at?
He'll be up next.
Where you at? Hey, if you guys, if you guys had them next tails, them chirps, you guys remember that
All right,
little
sir,
sound
your
right
full name and
there.
date of birth?
Jeremy Allen Schultz, 7/23/79.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs. That's a Class 4 felony. 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. The public defender has been appointed to represent you. You have 2 court dates at this time. That's going to be a status conference on February 4th, preliminary hearing February 6th, both at 8:30, and that's at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. The address will be provided to you in your paperwork. So in this matter, I am following the PSA recommendation here. You are being released on your own recognizance. That is going to be your promise to appear. Do you have any questions at this time?
No, that's all I was going to ask about being released.
Damn, buffering. They're messing up the stream over here. What's wrong with them? Anyhow, hey, I just want to go ahead and take this moment to, let you guys know.
You are being released.
Thank you.
Yeah, be patient with the process. It takes several hours, but yes, you are being released in this matter. Okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have Gustavo.
Damn, he's hard timing
and
it.
It looks like we are to Manuel Lizaraga.
Next, damn. We've seen like 15, 20 people already so far. She's just like back to back, non-stop.
Your full name and date of birth?
Gustavo Jaime, August 26, 1990.
All right, thank you, sir. So you were here for a new case out of Superior Court alleging one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, which is a Class 6 felony. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set February 4 and a preliminary hearing February 6, both at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Based on the nature of the offense here, I am going to be following the PSA recommendation. You are being released. It is subject to the supervision of pretrial services, so you're going to get some information regarding them before you go, because you have to stay checked in with them, okay?
I get released?
You're being released in this case. Now, I'll let you know, has he seen Phoenix yet? Yes, you know? He has seen Phoenix? Okay. Does he have a hold in that one?
Probably 4.
I'm sorry?
He's booked like him before.
Oh, okay. So you still have to go to Phoenix court. Okay, so what that means is you're not going anywhere yet. You have to wait and see the Phoenix judge. It's a completely separate case, okay?
You ain't going nowhere.
All right, so we've got Mr. Lizaraga and Charles Black will be up after that.
All right. Hey, hit them thumbs up, hit them hearts. Highly appreciate it. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. You just got to tap that screen, tap.
Marlene C. April 28, 1984.
Thank you, sir. So you are here for a fugitive of justice warrant. It was issued out of the state of Colorado. And they were notified, they did indicate that this was a valid warrant that they would extradite on. It looks like it's a parole violation warrant out of that state.
Yeah.
So you were given that laminated sheet. Did you have an opportunity to take a look at that? Okay, because basically that's going to be the waiver of extradition language if you opt to do that here today, okay? And I'm going to go over the two options you have. I'll see if you have any questions about those, and then I'll see how you want to proceed today, okay?
Okay.
So basically your first option that you have here today is you could choose to waive extradition. When you do that, you are saying, I'm waiving extradition, I'm ready to return to the state of Colorado on this warrant. If you choose to go that route, what would happen is you would have no further hearings here in Arizona for this warrant, okay? You would be held in the Maricopa County Jail without bond until Colorado comes to pick you up on the warrant. Now, Colorado, in turn, would have 30 days starting tomorrow to do that, to come pick you up. Now, that 30-day time frame starts tomorrow unless you have any local open cases. If you do have any local open cases, and I'm not aware of any, but if you do, then the 30-day time frame starts after that local case is concluded, okay? So that would be the only hang-up of that 30-day time frame, okay? That's if you choose to waive extradition and return to Colorado. Now, your other choice that you have at this time is you can choose not to waive extradition, at least not here today. You can always choose to waive at a later date. Now, if you choose not to waive extradition, what would happen there is I'd be setting an extradition hearing or fugitive from justice hearing on February 3rd at 1:30 p.m. That would be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. I can't appoint an attorney here to represent you at that hearing because the actual extradition case is considered civil in nature. Even though this is a criminal case back in Colorado, the extradition proceedings are civil. You do have the right to retain an attorney to represent you in this matter, and I'll also note there are sometimes public defenders who are present there who can provide assistance. There's just no guarantee of that, okay?
Yes.
Now, either way, because this is a parole violation warrant, you are non-bondable, so you are not eligible for release no matter which route you take at this point, okay? So the process there, if you choose not to waive extradition, is that a governor's warrant has to be issued by the governors of both states. So both the governors of Colorado, governors of Arizona have to sign off on this warrant in order to extradite you back to Colorado. That can be a longer process. That can take up to 90 days, okay? So first, do you have any questions regarding that?
I was here on county last time waiting for Denver to come and pick me up. And I waited 45 days, and they never came and picked me up. And it says if you wait 30 to 45 days to come and pick you up, and if they don't pick you up, those charges are supposed to be dropped.
No. So what happens is if they don't come pick you up within the time frame, so let's say you decide to waive here today, they have 30 days to come pick you up. They don't come pick you up within that 30-day time frame. You do get released from custody, but the warrant is still there. It does not go away. The charges don't get dropped. Nothing happens with that. They've just chosen not to extradite you within the required time frame.
And then one of the police from Denver, he doesn't like me, so he does it on purpose all the time because Last time when I was gonna go to Denver, when he was about to be there 30 days, he made a phone call over here saying that he was gonna extradite me to get blah blah blah.
That's up to Colorado, how they proceed on it. It's not
I
anything
know,
I can address.
but I'm gonna wait the 30 days only. But you will see, close to the 30 days, he will make a phone call and say, "Oh, you know what? I forgot that I got to pick up Mr. Lizama," and then he got to make me wait 30 more days because if I got two cases right now, it says Glendale in Colorado. If he doesn't make a phone call today or tomorrow, I'm not gonna be waiting 28 days, and then Glenn's gonna come and pick me up at the 28 days, and then I'm gonna have to wait another 30 days. You know what I mean? That's kind of stupid too.
All right, do you want to have your extradition hearing here in Arizona then? Do you want to choose not to waive extradition today? And I'll set that hearing for you on February 3rd.
So the extradition, what is it? Deborah's gonna come and pick me up?
If you choose not to waive extradition, you'd be having an extradition hearing here in Arizona.
No, I want to go to Denver.
We should be legally extraditing you to Denver.
I want to go to Denver.
Well, not Denver, but Colorado, wherever that ends up being. So you want to waive extradition here today?
No, I want to go with them so I can pay what I owe to them. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So if you do want to waive extradition, I do need to go through some questions. It sounds like you've already been through the process, but I do need to have you answer out loud because I need to make sure it's a knowing and voluntary waiver on your part.
Okay.
All right. So did you read the waiver of extradition paperwork? That's that laminated sheet?
Yeah.
All right. And do you understand that you do not have to sign the waiver of extradition here today?
Yeah.
All right. You understand that you have the right to demand an extradition hearing here in Arizona? Do you understand that? That you can ask for an extradition hearing here today?
Yeah, well, extradition means like if I send the paper, I got 30 days to wait from there, right? Okay, that's
Colorado has 30 days to pick you up.
okay. That's what I want to do.
Okay. So, but you do understand that you do have the right to demand an extradition hearing. That is your right here today, but you're going to waive that right and sign the extradition.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Do you understand that you have the right to hire an attorney at your own expense to represent you in any extradition proceedings?
Yeah.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before your return to Colorado?
Yeah.
And do you want to give up those rights I just went through in order to sign the waiver paperwork here today?
Yeah.
Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything in order to get you to sign the paperwork?
No.
All right. Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
No.
All right, then based on those responses, I do find that you are knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily signing the waiver, and I'll be signing it as well. I'm directing the Sheriff's Office to notify Colorado that you are ready to return at this time. Colorado will in turn have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending. If there are local charges pending, 30-day time frame would start at the conclusion of that case. So we'll have you come up here in just a second, but before I do you have any other questions regarding this?
I don't.
All right, if you want to go ahead and step up, we'll let you know as soon as it's ready to be signed. All right, I just signed that one.
I want to know why he's not wearing any shoes. That's what I want to know. And also, you guys made a comment about the way they walk in. If it looks like if they have like weights on their legs, you know, when they're walking. And then also somebody made a comment about Big Bubba getting them. Hey, if you get got in a court tank, that's all bad. Imagine like the first day you're there. That's all bad. Definitely a bad experience. Anyhow, hey, I see we just hit over 20,000 taps on the screen. Highly appreciate that. Hey, hopefully we get into the FYP and we're able to get more people in for the engagement. Also, if you haven't done so, check out my profile whenever you get a chance. Check out the videos. We deal with pretty much anything that deals with incarceration, interviews with incarcerated individuals, video calls, interviews, all that, parole board meetings, court cases, and all that good stuff. Hey, Starlight, highly appreciate that. Appreciate the follow. I see there's over 100 and something people watching, so obviously you guys are intrigued by this. So yeah, just follow. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free 99. Also, if you know somebody that might be interested in this, or you got a loved one, shoot it over to them. Sharing is caring. I'm up here from FYP. That's right, Brittany. Hell yeah, gracias, and shout out to Brittany and Rachel. Gracias for that follow. And anybody else that I didn't mention your name, un chingo de gracias. Meg, thank you for the follow. What state is this? This is Arizona. Bison, thank you for the follow. Let me see. Haley shared the live. Gracias. FYP in here. That's right. Ellen.
All right, looks like we are to our last two matters. That's going to be
two
for
more.
Charles Black and Kristen Black. You both have identical information, so if you both want to
Vicky
come in
Marie,
here, I can do both of your
gracias.
hearings at the same time, and then I'll address you both individually.
Nah,
okay?
don't do them at the same time. Do it separately.
All right, and let's go ahead and get your full names and date of birth, Mr. Black, if I could start with you.
Charles Black, 5981.
All right, and Ms. Black?
Kristen Black, 101481.
All right, thank you.
Oh, they're an
All right, so
item.
both of you are here on fugitive of justice warrants. They are both warrants issued out of the state of Florida, out of Brevard County. So in each of those matters, Florida was notified you were arrested on the warrants, and I think they were recently issued. They were issued this month.
Yeah.
But they
Bonnie
indicated
and
that
Clyde.
those warrants were valid at this time and that they would extradite on them, okay? So you were given that laminated sheet as well. Did you both have an opportunity to read those?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you know that you basically have an option here to make. I know you just heard me go through this with someone else, so it's pretty much the same choices. Yours might be a little bit different though. So in each of your cases, you do have the option to waive extradition here today or to choose not to waive extradition, and I'll go over both of the choices that you have. If you choose to waive extradition, you would be returning to the state of Florida on these warrants, and you're agreeing to do so without having any further hearings here in Maricopa County. So if you choose to go that route, you would be held in the Maricopa County Jail, non-bailable, so you'd be held without any kind of bond being possible, until Florida comes to pick you up on the warrants. Now, if Florida, in turn, has 30 days starting tomorrow to come do that. Now, they have that 30-day time frame unless you have any local open cases. If you do have any local open cases, and I'm not aware of any, I just want to make sure this is on, just that I put this out there. If you do have any, the 30-day time frame doesn't start until after the local case is completed, okay? That's if you choose to waive extradition and return to the state of Florida. Now, if you choose not to waive extradition, which is your right to do, you would be demanding to have an extradition hearing or fugitive from justice hearing here in Arizona. And in that case, I'd be setting that hearing for you on February 3rd at 1:30. That would be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Now, in that matter, I can't appoint attorneys to represent you because this extradition case is civil in nature. Even though it's a criminal charge out in out in Florida, the actual extradition proceedings are civil. You do have the right to retain an attorney to represent you. There are also sometimes public defenders present at those hearings who can provide assistance, but there's just no guarantee of that, okay? Now, in that case, you are bondable. I will let you know, Florida has this as a no bond warrant, okay? But under the circumstances of the warrant, I cannot legally hold you without bond, but it is a pretty significant bond that you do end up with. So each of you would have a $50,000 cash-only appearance bond. That's a cash bond. That doesn't mean you need to post that full amount, okay? So in that case, the process there would be that a governor's warrant has to be signed by the governors of both states, so both Florida and Arizona, in order to extradite you back to Florida. That can be a longer process. That can take up to 90 days. That's the time frame they have to execute that warrant, okay? Sure. All right, you can also choose to waive extradition at a later date. You're going to get the same choice I just gave you today. You'll get that at your next hearing as well if you want to wait to think about it. But first of all, I'll ask you, Mr. Black, any questions regarding that?
I got a lot, but hopefully they're good ones. We have children, and
I'll let you know the choices I gave you, no matter what your situation is, no way around them.
No, that's fine. Okay. That's totally fine. What I'm wondering is, for that February 3rd date, if we choose to, is it possible to move it up?
It is not.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't choose the dates. They're
okay.
actually set for us. And actually, February 3rd is actually faster than you're sometimes going to get in here. So.
Can she
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No, someone else had mentioned the possibility of Florida being required to pick us up sooner than 30 days. Is that an option? Just because our 3 kids are under the age of 18 and we have no family here.
They could pick you up. The 30 days is the maximum time frame that they have.
But you can't order
we can't order them to pick you up any faster. They have a 30-day time frame to pick you up. They could pick you up within the next week, or they could pick you up on day 29. They just have to do that sometime within the time frame.
And when can we see what these charges are? Because we still don't know.
I'll let you know. Because they actually sent over the warrant. So in your case, I actually have that here.
They haven't said yet. She said she was going to let them know. So just pay attention.
All right, Mr. Black, in your case, it is 7 total counts. 2 of those are for organized fraud, and The remaining counts, the remaining 5 counts, is for unlawful filing of a false document.
Ooh,
Now, again, this
EDD
is
fraud.
under Florida law, so I can't give you any information other than what the statute is called here, okay? So in each of those cases, or in each of those, oh, nope, they don't even give a date of offense.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can give you. That's that they just have the charges listed on the warrants.
Do
Ms. Black, I think you have the same, but let me go over and I'll double check and make sure it's the same.
Damn. So I'm guessing they did some of that fraud, for
Same
those.
charges on both of these.
Does it give names or anything?
It does not. No, I don't even usually have the charges here. I usually only have a warrant printout because the only thing that we're seeing you on is the warrant.
Right.
I'm not seeing you about any of the charges that you're here for or anything. I have no information on the actual case over there because this is Florida's case. The only thing I'm seeing you on is the warrant.
Wow. So
Yeah.
two charges of what was it again? Organized fraud. And then
2 counts of organized fraud, obtained property. That's the only thing that's written there. And then the remaining 5 counts are unlawful filing of a false document.
I know what that could be.
So, and if you do choose not to waive extradition and go to that hearing next time, you might be able to get more information at that time, but this is all I have here today.
Okay, sorry, this is just so much to process all at once. And so we don't get the option to talk to an attorney before we make this decision. You're telling us make it right now or wait until February, whatever.
Yeah, at this time, you do have to choose one way or the other. If you're not sure how you want to proceed because you do want to consult with an attorney, what I would do is I'd have to set that February 3rd court date, and you could certainly see if you could arrange something prior to that date.
So on February 3rd, we're bondable.
No, we're bondable.
You are bondable. You've got each have the $50,000 cash on the appearance.
We're bondable now. Is that what you're saying?
If you choose to have the February 3rd court date, if you choose not to waive extradition, I'm going to set a bond and you would be bondable from here on out, yes, up until that court date.
Okay.
100 racks
Am I
for
allowed
both
to
of
make
them.
a phone call before I make
You are not. Unfortunately, you're already here in front of me. So again, this is one of those things where if you're not sure how you want to proceed, then I do have to set the hearing because then I can't say that you're making a knowing waiver anyway, so I just have to automatically set the hearing for
I
you.
just have one more question about the February 3rd court date. So we're bondable until that date. We show up for that court date. At that court date, could you then say, we're putting you back in jail to extradite you, or what does that look like?
Let's say at that court hearing, they have something to show that you should be non-bondable. I don't see anything in here showing that you can do that under Arizona, but that's entirely possible. I can't say what's going to happen at that time. Does that typically happen? No.
Okay.
But if you go to the February 3rd court date and then tell the commissioner who's there at that time, okay, we want to waive extradition, we don't want to deal with this, we're going to do the 30 days and waive extradition. At that point, you would remain in custody, non-bailable, because as soon as you waive extradition, as soon as that's set in stone, you do have to be held in custody till Florida comes to pick you up.
Okay, so by choosing the date, it gives us the option to post bail bond, whatever it's called, and then I think we need the space to make that decision.
But we don't lose the $50,000 if you show up, right?
So that is an appearance bond.
Okay.
Okay? So as long as you show up and otherwise comply with that appearance bond just stay in place it basically guarantees your appearance. That's what it is.
Yes.
Okay? So it's not a fine, it's not anything like that, okay?
And it's cash.
It is, yeah.
Cash
I
money.
think we need to leave the space, and maybe for one of us, it could, both of us, I don't know, but it gives us time to contact attorneys, people. I mean, otherwise, we're in here for 30 days.
And then, so we have a hearing. I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to figure it out. We have a hearing on the 3rd. What does that hearing do?
So that basically starts off the non-waiver proceedings, okay? So, because if you choose not to waive extradition, we have to go through a process here in Arizona to issue a governor's warrant.
Okay.
Okay, so those proceedings have to get started.
Okay.
And so that's why we set the hearing. So you'd have that hearing, and then they'd probably set another one down the road to, keep up with the progress of getting that issued.
Okay.
Because basically those proceedings are geared towards ensuring that the warrant is valid, that you should be extradited on it, and getting the governor's warrant signed.
And can I ask, at any time, could we go to Florida and turn ourselves in?
If you get permission to leave state, okay? So let's say you post bond, okay? Let's say you post bond prior to that February 3rd court date. You go in, you're going to be, I believe it's still in front of Commissioner Spencer, and you let her know, hey, we're out on bond, but we'd like to go see if we can address that. It is entirely up to her whether she does that. And I don't know how common that is. I don't think it's very common, but it's certainly up to her as to whether she would allow you. Because basically, it's are you allowed to leave state under your release conditions.
Oh, I see.
Monday through Friday normally.
Okay, so we would get, when that gets reissued, if we let it play out the 60 or 90 days, we would get rearrested, and this whole process just starts all over again. At that point, we have 30 days here, or...
You mean if they issue the governor's warrant?
Yes.
Yeah. So once the governor's warrant is issued, that's saying, yep, extradition's going through. So whether you want to or not, whether you waive it or not, extradition's going through. And yes, you would be held in custody then until Florida comes to pick you up.
And then they still have 30 days?
Then they have a 30-day time frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we have the ability to show them that?
But usually that is quicker. I'll let you know. It usually isn't the 30 days.
Because it's already
because they've already gone through the process of the
Yeah.
governor's warrant. But go ahead.
Do we have? Is there any point where we are able to defend this to show that it's not what Florida is saying it is to the state of Arizona, or
that's
no?
what you would have to talk to an attorney about.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, the only thing you're seeing on here is the extradition proceedings, which is basically should you or should you not be extradited back to Florida on the warrant. That's it. Yeah, it's not really to defend the charges. It's not to do anything else because that's all of Florida.
And they have it as non-bondable. So we go there.
They
and
currently
we're
have your
stuck
warrant as a no bond warrant. Yeah.
It's so malicious.
But is that because we're here or not there?
I don't know why they've done it as a no bond warrant. Yeah, they don't provide a basis for it. I'm just letting you know that's what's in the warrant.
They don't.
But it's not one that I can do legally here in Arizona. There's only certain circumstances I can hold people non-bailable. Yours is not one.
Okay, so I feel like we should pick the further out date, see if bail's an option. It buys us a week.
Can we waive at any time between now and then? The third?
Between now and the 3rd, no, because you won't have any hearings until then. That'll be your first hearing, so that would be your next opportunity to waive.
And then, so if we don't get bail, we're adding time to our time.
What to do?
But you said the bail is something that we'd get back, or no? You pay it and it's gone forever.
It's not gone forever. No, that's not the purpose of bail. The purpose of bail is just to ensure your appearance.
Okay.
So let's say you fail to appear at the next court date, they're probably going to move for a forfeiture of that amount.
Right. Understood.
I think I have one more question. So the governor's bond, where they do their thing, what is that? What is involved? I mean, what is that process?
They get all the information on the warrant itself. They send it up to each governor's office, and they say, this is a warrant out of Florida. Should these individuals be extradited back to Florida? Do we have the legal right to extradite them back there?
And Arizona has the right to say no?
Arizona, the governor in Arizona could opt not to sign off on it.
Oh.
They're not in Orange because they just got picked up, maybe like last night.
An attorney.
Yeah.
So they haven't been
Yeah,
processed.
that is a conversation to have with
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But I'm saying that's why I think we need to buy ourselves some time.
Okay.
All right, do you want me to enter in a non-waiver, at least at this time?
What should we do? What? Come on.
I have a question about cash, and I think this is my last question.
Is that your final answer?
Can it be collateral? Like, can that still go through a bondsman is what I'm asking.
Nope.
So
cash
doesn't
money.
mean you have to post the full amount.
Okay.
It's my understanding some of the bonding companies might work with cash bonds, but I'm sure it's pretty steep terms.
Okay.
And I can't say for sure what that would be. Okay, but otherwise plan on it being the full amount.
Okay.
You can readdress bond if you choose to continue with the extradition proceedings. You can readdress bond once you're at your next court date. As far as whether it would change, I don't know.
For lower.
Yeah.
But if we post bond tomorrow or whatever, it doesn't matter.
And then these actual charges we don't ever get to see unless we have an attorney, or how do we?
Right?
They might have more information at your next court date.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually get some additional information at that point regarding the warrants, but I'm just telling you what I have at this point.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I would say that it was a PPP loan.
Yeah.
But that's just a guess on my end. I haven't looked up.
I'm
I
not
haven't
ready
looked
to
them
leave.
up.
Yeah.
Are you right now?
No.
What do you guys
I
think?
guess the
Go ahead and do the non-waiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Can we push the February 3rd date out?
I cannot. Yeah, those, we're given those
I know.
dates. Yeah, we don't choose those. We're given those and assigned them. All right, those are both signed now.
It's cash.
All right.
They
So
don't
we'll
get
go
10%.
ahead and get the paperwork printed out for both of those. It's going to have the release terms on it. It'll have the next court date on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, if you want to go ahead and have a seat, we'll get those out to you
Okay,
in a moment.
thank
all
you
right?
so much.
Good luck
Should
to
we
you both.
leave
these
or
here?
bring these with
You can
us?
leave those here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So the PPP loan are those loans
Yeah.
that they were giving away
Yeah,
to
the
businesses in during
All
the
right,
pandemic.
So it looks like we are to our house calls here. We have two separate house calls. First one is for Laura Box, date of birth 12771, who is here for two separate matters. They are both probation violation warrants. Petition to revoke in each alleges a violation of terms 3 and 5, and the revocation arraignment hearing is set January 27 at 8:30. Public defender's been appointed in both matters. The bond in each warrant's been affirmed. The first one is 100. The second one is 250. Those are secured appearance bonds. Next matter is for Wesley Melton, date of birth 8/13/1986, who's here on a new case out of Superior Court alleging 3 counts of organized retail theft, class 4 felonies. Public defenders appointed there as well. Status conference set January 27. Preliminary hearing January 29, both at 8:30. And that is going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Bond in that matter is a $1,500 secured appearance bond. All right, it looks like both house calls were labeled house calls due to being unable to follow directions, unable to function. All right, looks like that is everybody for the 8 a.m. calendar. I'm going to go and turn off the recorder. We'll be
All right, so they went ahead and cut the stream right now. I am expecting another stream to start up right now in Pima County in the next few minutes. So if you want to hang around, if you're on TikTok, would highly appreciate it. Is this 100K or 10,000? So they got to pay 100,000 cash bond. They don't have that 10%. That wasn't an option for them since they were on the run. If you're on YouTube, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. If you're on TikTok, just hang out for a minute, and if we get the other stream going, I'll go ahead and plug it in. All right. Also, since I got you, can you do Utah? So for Utah, the only thing that I do out of Utah would be I do